This crispy and flaky pancake may look like the Shanghai scallion pancake at first, but it's actually packed with a classic Sichuan flavor, mala, numbing spicy. It's shallow fried for a crispy layered outside and slightly leavened and stuffed with beef for a soft and tender texture plus a flavorful bite inside. If you've been to China, you may think of this as guokui since it's been a popular street food around. But depends on where you go, you may think this, or this is guokui and not this one in my hand. And we're all correct here. Because guokui is a widely used umbrella term, it's a pretty old food item that's generally believed to have something to do with armies. The character Kui in its name suggests that it probably has something to do with armor or helmet. The several more well-known stories about the origins of Guokui suggest that it's either so hard and thick that it can protect soldiers from arrows, or it's so dense that it can be kept for a long time and thus fit for a long-distance food supply during wartime. Or my favorite one is that guokui is actually baked using the helmet because of lack of cooking vessels on battlefields. Nevertheless, all of these legends are talking about the older styles of guokui that's plausibly arrow-proof. And as guokui spread, it started to morph into various forms and flavors and lost its armor-like appearance. And it's around Sichuan that we can find these crispy and flaky ones. Now, being very close to Shanxi, which is believed to be the birthplace of guokui, Sichuan also has its own many styles of guokui, like the plain one or the sweet one that's stuffed with brown sugar, or this crispy and savory kind. This style of guokui is from Junle County outside of Chengdu and it's called军屯锅盔, meaning it's a guokui from a military outpost. Historically, it's also very similar to its flatbread cousins and it's baked and not fried. But here today we are gonna show you this modern version that you will find on the streets in Sichuan today. So to make guokui, let's make our dough first. Here we have 300 grams of AP flour. Now mix in half teaspoon salt on one side of the bowl and then 0.3 grams or 1/8 teaspoons of yeast on the other side. Here we are using a tiny bit of active dry yeast to mimic the Chinese lao mian starter because this kind of guokui dough, it's supposed to be mixed with a little bit of that starter to slightly leaven, but that needs a ton of experience for timing and tweaking, and I think you probably don't have that starter on hand anyway, so active dry yeast it is. So next, mix in 30 grams of room temperature water aiming at the yeast. Form it into a little ball and then take it out first. Next, drizzle in 150 grams of 7 degrees Celsius hot water, aiming for the dry flour bit. After that, we'll also need 18 grams of Caiziyou rapeseed oil, or use olive oil if that's what you have. Now knead the flour together. Be careful though, it's hot. And when it's no longer hot to the touch after kneading a little bit, add back in that yeast flour ball. Then move on to a work surface and knead it together for about 6 minutes. After kneading, form it into a ball. Cover it with enough oil so that the surface doesn't dry out. Cover your bowl and let it rest for half an hour, or 1 hour if your room temperature is lower than 24-23 degrees Celsius. And after that resting time, we need to put the bowl in the fridge to slow down the fermentation process. And while the dough's resting, we can prep other ingredients. First, our numbing component. 1 tablespoon of Huajiao Sichuan peppercorn, just toasted in a dry wok with low flame till it starts to leave oil splotches like this. Then take it out and pound it into a powder and set aside. Then we'll need to make Yousu. Yousu is basically a roux to help pancakes to create layered, just like scallion pancake if you have made it before. So, in a heat-proof bowl with 42 grams flour, add in half teaspoon salt and 1 teaspoon each of 5-spice powder and our Huajiao Sichuan peppercorn powder. Mix them well, then heat up 42 grams of Caiziyou rapeseed oil or lard or any good quality oil you have on hand. Then heat it to 180 degrees Celsius. Then pour it into the flour, quickly mix it evenly and set it aside. Next, we'll be making our filling. Now, this kind of crispy guokui usually have pork or beef as two flavor options. Pork being the classic savory and beef is often mala. And personally, we really love that numbing spicy beef. So this is what we'll be making today. So here we have 90 grams of minced beef, and to that add in 10 grams of minced ginger, 1 tablespoon spicy chili powder, and all that remaining Huajiao Sichuan peppercorn powder, about 4 teaspoons, and 5 grams of doubanjiang fermented spicy broad bean paste. Now just start mincing so that we can turn the minced beef into a paste, and let that seasoning well combined. About 10 minutes later, our beef is nice and pasty with a vibrant red color. Then just put it into a bowl. Add in 8 teaspoons salt, 1 teaspoon sugar, a quarter teaspoon each of MSG and chicken bouillon powder, 2 teaspoons each of soy sauce and liaojiu aka Shaoxing wine for final seasoning. Mix it all well and set that aside. Now, when things are ready, take your dough out from the fridge and we can start wrapping. So punch a hole in the center, shape it into a ring. Then divide it into 6 even log-shaped pieces between 80 to 85 grams. Then take one log, press it down with your palm to flatten it. Then use a rolling pin to roll it out on both ends till you get something that's about 50 centimeter or 20-inch long. Now, one of the characteristics of making this kind of guokui is slapping it with the rolling pin or stretching it like hand pull noodles to evenly pull it out a little bit more. So, just grab one end of the strip, gently put it around one end of the rolling pin, lift the strip up, then slap it on the table 1 or 2 times. Then switch to the other end and repeat this motion. But don't stretch it too much though, otherwise it will just really break. Now, once the dough's rolled out, take 1/6 of your Yousu, smear it evenly onto the strip. Leave about 1 centimeter along the sides and 10 centimeter at the end for easier sealing. And then grab 1/6 of your beef paste, place it alongside the strip, then gently smear it out evenly, also leaving out the same space as the Yousu. Now with both Yousu and beef evenly applied, we can start rolling it up. But in order to create a more obvious layer, we don't want to roll it up too tight. So grab the far end that's filled with beef, fold it over with about 4 centimeter in one fold. Then fold it again, then again, until you reach the ending part with no fillings. Now, finish rolling it at an angle. Gently tuck the remaining strip over one end of the log. Keep on twisting the log so that it naturally seals up. Then twist and pinch the ending bit to seal it and press it onto the log to finish. For the other opening end, just take the log, gently press it into a bowl of untoasted sesame seeds. Then the wrapping is done. Put it back into the bag to rest for 10 minutes. Now work through the remaining log. But if you're moving slowly and the weather is hot, remember to keep all the logs and doughs in the fridge so that it just doesn't start fermenting again. After we finish wrapping all 6 guokuis, we can start the final steps. So take one log, sesame side facing up, pressing it with your palm to flatten it evenly and start rolling. Roll a couple times on one direction, then twist 90 degrees and roll out on another direction. Keep on rolling at different directions till you got something that's about 15 centimeter wide. And if you want the edge to be thinner and crispier, use one side of the rolling pin to gently press alongside the edge to flatten it out a little bit more. Now, you can roll them all out and fry them all at once if you have a massive pan like they do on the street. But for us, 2 guokui at a time works the best for our pan. So I'm just gonna roll out 2 and fry them up first and leave the rest in the fridge till I'm ready for the next batch. Or if you just want to have a couple and save the rest for next time, You can also check out the pin note and see how to freeze them. So right, now we can start to fry it. Heat on high first till your pan gets to about 130 degrees Celsius or when your hand can feel obvious heat. Then carefully put the guokui in, sesame side facing down. Swirl it around for even heating. Let it toast for about 1 minute to form a crust first. Then carefully flip and do the same with the other side, also for about a minute. And then pour in some oil that's enough to submerge halfway of the guokui. Turn the heat to medium-low and we'll start the actual frying process. Swirl it from time to time and flip it every minute or so to make sure that it fries evenly. Now just be patient. Let it fry up slowly so that the beef and inside the dough can be cooked through. When your guokui reaches this nice golden color, you can take it out. Put it vertically in a tray lined with some paper towel to let some oil drip out. Or you can put your tray in a 170 degrees Celsius oven to help further expel the oil. However, I tested both baked and not baked and doesn't seem to make that much of a difference, so it's totally up to you. Anyway, now your mala spicy beef guokui is done. You can devour it as a whole pancake right now, or you can eat it alongside with some spicy intestine noodle soup just like they do in Sichuan. So right, that's how you make guokui. It's a very tasty pancake that's packed with a ton of flavor. And don't panic if it breaks a little bit on you because it's just being fluffy, crispy, and flaky. It's one of those easier Chinese pastries with very high deliciousness level. So right, remember to check out the recipe in the description box and the pin notes if you are trying to make this. And thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon and subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos. Come on, sit here, come on. Smelling well,